Hey guys, and welcome to tonight's live. How's everybody doing? Hopefully you guys are having a great day. Great day, hump day. So we're halfway through the week. Jan, are you having ice cream tonight? I want some ice cream now that we were talking about it last night. I actually saw a girl making ice cream earlier on YouTube and it looked really good. Random things that you watch. But welcome in everybody. Welcome on in. I meant to move. I was going to move Nancy over today because we're playing Nancy Grace, and I forgot to move her, so she's just going to be in the background again. But welcome in, everybody. Got a good amount of people in. That's awesome. Awesome. I was just kind of going through the chat to see who's all here. Welcome on in. It's good to see everybody. Just if you weren't here last night, then it's been a couple of days since I've seen you. But I'm sure that you were here last night because we did a live. I don't know. We did do an Idaho live last night. We're going back in time for the Idaho case, and then we just have this new case now, Rachel Morin, a 37-year-old mother of 5. So we're going to go over and cover her case today. We've done, I think this is our 3rd or 4th live covering her case. So hopefully we'll get some some views, and maybe the right person will see it and come forward. So, because they need the help, it seems like. So if you guys wouldn't mind just taking a second to hit the like button, it does go a long way. If this is your first time here and you've never been on the channel before, I'm Tanya, or Titanium Built. You can call me either or. I don't prefer one over the other. So if you would like to become a member of our awesome channel, I'm going to put the link in the chat for you guys. So that way it's there if you would like to join. We'd love to have you. So we'll go ahead and get right into tonight's coverage. Like I said, we're going to be covering Rachel Morin. She was 37 years old. That's my age. So mother of 5. I cannot believe that. Mother of 5. She doesn't even look like she's old enough to have 5 kids. I don't think she looks 37. She's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. She was found unalived. I'm going to say that because we're not even 5 minutes into the live yet, so I don't want them to get me, YouTube. But she was found unalived on the Ma and Pa Trail down in where she is from. Oh, hello, welcome in. Sorry, the chat got my attention. In Maryland. I was about to say Baltimore, but it's outside of Baltimore. So in Maryland. She's beautiful. I am going to put the she does have a GoFundMe. I'll share this really quick, actually. We went over this the other night on the live. I'm going to put the link in there if anybody wants to check it out and they want to contribute anything to the GoFundMe. They're using it for funeral expenses, and then everything else that they get after the funeral expenses, it's going to go to her children. So she does have 5 children. I couldn't imagine having 5 children. And then to leave them here, she didn't have a life insurance. So, those are little things that you need to be mindful of, like myself included. I thought of it today. I don't have children, but I wouldn't want to just leave this world and not leave like anything for the people that I do love, So it's just something to think about. They always ask you before surgery too, if you have a living will. And I hate that. I'm always like, leave me alone when they say that. I'm always like, leave me alone. But I'll put this back on here on our picture. So I'm just going to go through what I have on my notes here, and welcome on in, everybody. Thank you guys all for being here. So while many questions remain unanswered, new details are emerging in the murder of mom of 5, Rachel Morin. We are learning that Rachel stopped in at a tanning salon she frequented before hitting the gym with her new boyfriend, who is Richard Tobin. We covered a little bit about him in our last live. Tobin reportedly dropped Rachel off at home before she drove herself to the Ma and Pa Trail, which there are I think one of 2 trail fronts that you can go in to go to the trailheads or to the trails for the Ma and Pa Trail. In a now deleted Facebook comment, Tobin stated that he and Rachel's children began searching for her around 9 p.m. and that Richard Tobin, he made a call to the sheriff's office and reported her missing at around 11:30 p.m. that evening. So employees have come forward that worked at the tanning salon that she, frequented, and they have come forward and they have said, that she kept her daily appointment. They say that Rachel would keep them updated on her, dating life, and she was actively, using, and this has nothing to do with her death, but she was just actively, using dating websites, I guess, at the time of her unaliving. So even though she was in a relationship, maybe, it's new, still want to keep your options open. You're 37, you're beautiful. Why not be on a dating website? Just saying. I'm just saying. If there's no ring on that finger, my mom would be like, there's no ring on there. You go do what you want to do. That's what she would say. So, that girl was getting it. So police are still looking for potential suspects, but police are also asking the community to submit any tips or any information possibly related to the case. They put it on their Facebook the other day. We saw that they put a email up for her. That way you guys, that way people could contact with information if they had any. So this is new. 5 dog walkers on the trail at the time of Rachel's hike have been identified and questioned. Hopefully they're helping investigators establish if Rachel was alone when they saw her, narrow down the time frame in which the murder occurred, and find out, who in fact did this to Rachel. Maybe somebody saw her with somebody, and that's the person that maybe they saw her with is a frequent person on the trail. You never know, especially with 5 people walking the trail. It's a busy little trail. So we're going to go over Nancy Grace tonight. She did a podcast and a video. I listened to the podcast version, but I have the video version for you guys. She goes over the dating websites, and I was just waiting to see what she'd say about it. And she went off. She was like, that is no reason for anybody to be saying anything. And I was like, you get him, Nancy. You get him, Nancy. Oh, you can't really see Nancy whenever she's on the screen. Let me see. Oh, now she's blocking Nancy. That's okay. That's okay. And welcome in, everybody. I see we have some new names in here tonight. It's really nice. I love seeing new names. Makes me really, really happy. Where are we at? So, okay. So I did find, is JLR have a private jet yet? The guy needs a private jet. He's been everywhere. I don't watch him, and he doesn't come on my For You page very often. But when I was on Twitter, I was trying to find some stuff out about, this case and what's going on with it. And he did an interview with the man that claimed that his stepdaughter was the girl, Cecilia is her name, that found Rachel. He did an interview with the guy and his wife, which is Cecilia's mother. And I listened to about 10, 15 minutes of it. And basically the key point was, they're sticking to their story. They saw what they saw. They found what they found. They're not sure why the police are saying that they're lying. To me, maybe they're not, because the police are coming out, they're saying that he didn't find her. Well, in fact, he didn't find her. Cecilia did. So the cops could be saying that in a way where maybe they needed to keep some of those details under wraps for the time being, because it's an active investigation. And maybe they didn't think about it because it's a smaller community that, this guy would run out and tell the first news agency that pulled up in his driveway. Because apparently that's what happened. Fox 45 came out to his house and he talked to them. And he said that they put it all out. Whatever he said, everything he said, they put it all out. And I'm like, well, why wouldn't they? They're a news agency, I'm just going to grab my drink. But I'm like, it was a good interview. I just didn't get to watch the whole thing. But yeah, he did a good job, getting the interview and everything. I just normally don't watch him. So I was on Twitter and I happened to stumble across his stuff and I was like, oh, look at that. And then And then I like scrolled down and he was at Brian Kohlberger's parents' house. And I'm like, how did you get behind the gated community, Brian Enton Jr.? Did he really? He removed all those big fingers on his hands. I didn't notice that. But last time I was on my live, I said I don't trust a guy with that many rings on his hand. Did he hear me? I wonder if yeah, that's crazy. He's motivated, yeah. Oh yeah, he went there looking for. Oh yeah, he's on it. I mean, I will give him that. I will give him that. So basically, this video I wanted to show you guys. It's right when it happened, right after they found her. I wasn't sure where they had found her on the trail, and this just kind of shows you, like how dense, like it's kind of wooded in that area, which a lot of trails are. They like walking trails. They'll have like woods kind of on either side of them. But I'm wondering, just like I'm really wondering how densely wooded this place is. I might have to look up the trail map again because we did that on a couple lives ago. So I'm going to play this really quick. And then, like I said, I think that maybe that guy's stepdaughter did find her. I don't really think that they would really lie, but I don't, especially about a daughter, his stepdaughter finding her. Like it'd be different if he said that he found her, but I mean, his stepdaughter, I just need to know if Items jail or takes Avery me too. Can we write him and ask? We should ask him. He'll probably tell us. He'll probably be like, I don't know what it is, but he has. I did notice this. He has the shiniest floors I've ever seen. Those wood floors. Yeah, his wood floors in his parents' house. I think is like he lives in his parents' old house or something in Florida, but they're so shiny. I'm like, man, that cat must be sliding on them floors he has. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and play this for you. And it's just like a minute long. So it just kind of wrap up everything I kind of was saying. But it goes from the beginning of the case.
We're going to head right over to Jessica Albert, who is live out on scene in Harford County, where detectives are investigating the remains of a woman found along a popular trail in Bel Air. Jessica, what are you learning?
Well, we've talked to neighbors, Kelsey, who believe that there's a missing woman along the trail and that they are possibly linked, this missing woman and the remains that are found, but police have not confirmed that yet. I do want to show you that we do have crime scene tape here. This is the Ma and Pa trail where this investigation is going on. Many parts of the trail are closed down right now as they are investigating. The Harford County Sheriff's Office is investigating two major cases along the Ma and Pa Trail in Bel Air. The first, a missing woman. Investigators say 37-year-old Rachel Morin was last seen around 6 p.m. on Saturday when she went for a walk on the trail. The next afternoon, around 1 p.m., investigators confirmed they found the body of a woman along the trail. They have not identified her or released a cause of death and are not saying at this point if the two cases are connected. Neighbors tell WJZ they're in shock these investigations are playing out in their community, which is normally quiet.
My daughter was just out running this morning to the end of the trail and back. So we enjoy it and we enjoy living next to it. And I have never felt afraid.
And we are expecting to learn some new details about this investigation in the next hour. Their sheriff's office, the detectives are holding a media briefing at 7:30. We will be at that briefing and we will bring you any new details when we get them. Reporting live in Harford County, Jessica Albert for WJZ.
I'll say, let me get her off of there. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that little clip because I didn't get to show you guys in either of our other lives where she was kind of found. But yeah, Electra said I won't ever hike alone these days until I get a taser. That's a good idea. My mom used to. That just reminded me of my mom. My mom used to say she needed a taser, but instead of calling it a taser, she called it a laser. So she would say, Tanya, I need a laser. I really should have a laser. She shouldn't have had anything stronger than a laser anyway. But I think that's pretty funny. But yeah, get a taser. pepper spray something if you're going to be by yourself out on a trail. It's real sad when you can't go on a walk by yourself. Like, those are things that you're supposed to be able to enjoy by yourself, being able to put your headphones in, listen to music as loud as you want, or a podcast or whatever makes you feel good, and not have to worry about somebody lurking in the bushes. And I really don't know how, if there was 5 people on that trail, how she didn't scream, unless she knew, and unless whoever did this to her snuck up on her really quickly. And I don't know. I don't see that happening, but that could have happened if she had headphones in. But you'd still think something would come out if someone grabs you, but you never know, I guess. It's so bad. My mom still says to not make yourself a victim. That's a good idea though, Zoe. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Joanne. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. My hair's feeling a little greasy looking. I'm like, I just washed my hair. Why does my hair look all crazy tonight? But thank you. That guy sounds suspect. Yeah. So she has a boyfriend now. They just started dating August 1st. She went missing August 5th. They made it Facebook official August 1st. And then I've been looking through, these were different posts, so I want to make sure that they're all legit before, I bring them out to you guys. But, according to people on Twitter, 2 of the fathers of her children, they were in court proceedings with her. Like, one of them had lost custody of his kids with her. And then the other one was I don't think it was court for her, but it was court for somebody else for stalking that person. So there are some unsavory characters thrown into this, mix, because even Richard Tobin, the boyfriend now, I believe he was at his alibi is going to be or something, that he was at an AA meeting. So we'll see how that is. But that's all anonymous. I wonder how that would work. Oh, look at that. You got your home early, Trees. Arlene said I'm late, but I'm here. I don't jog with headphones anymore. Really, Avery? See, I would not be able to do live without headphones. I do. I mean, I'm going to be a victim. I literally do everything with headphones. I went to Target tonight and I was listening to the Nancy Grace podcast. Headphones are blaring. Don't talk to me. You do need to be aware though. Yeah, you do definitely. I don't usually go out on public trails though. When I do work out, I just work out at the gym, and it's the gym here, so it's not like a bunch of people are going in anyway. But still, that's still very scary. Okay, so let me get Nancy up here. The candle looks like it's gonna fall off this thing. There we go. Let me see if there's anything else. Okay. Let me get this to play, and then I'm going to pause it for just a minute because it's going to be loud. Okay. All righty. I'm going to go ahead and play the Nancy Grace podcast. Avery said, I wonder how many people spoke to you, Tanya, in Target, and you think they think she's rude. They probably do. I'm always about to run into people. I'm really fast in there, and I know where everything's at. I should work there. I should go get a part-time job over at Target. But, I mean, it'd probably supplement my Target spending, maybe. That's a good idea, but I can just see everybody jamming into your music. I wonder what kind of music you listen to. You have to let us know. You're just cruising around with it. But hey, that's the way to do it. It is. There should be, you would think that there would be some sort of suspect in this case by now. I mean, I know that it's only been, it's been a while actually. So it's been since the 5th, going on 2 weeks. I don't like that. Now I'm wondering like I was saying before too, with her being, on the trail, you would think if someone came out of the bushes, she would scream or something, or make some sort of noise. She's 37. She's able-bodied. I mean, I heard like, and you'll hear on this podcast that she worked out like 3 times a day. She was known to be on those trails. Like, so she has to be able to have some sort of strength, you would think, to be able to, you know, maybe put back some sort of a fight. But you never know. It's just so sad. If it doesn't have anything to do with the new boyfriend's Facebook post, it sure is a coincidence. Oh, I don't know. What was his new post? I only saw the one where they were together. And then I think he had one where he said, like, let the family grieve. Something like that. I only have Facebook so I can get on and check other pages like that. David said, I'm sure they have a suspect. They're gathering evidence. I know, 3 times a day. Can you imagine? How do you do that with 5 kids? I don't know. I don't know how she did all this. Because she went tanning. They said that she was, and before we start the podcast too, I'm gonna break this down a little bit for us. They said that she was there to get her daily tanning spray tan. I don't believe that. I think she was there to get her daily tanning bed tan in. Because as a girl that used to get a spray tan more times than I should have ever got a spray tan, if somebody should stop me. But I would get a double shot of spray tan, and I would tan every day. And but I'd only do the spray tan once a week. So I don't see somebody doing that every single day. That would be very expensive too. I mean, I'm talking very, very expensive to spray tan every day. So I think she was just there getting into the tanning bed, like a normal tanning session. So I forgot to bring that up before we start the podcast. Everybody that's coming in now is just perfect timing. Perfect timing. Actually, where's Summer at? Where's she at? Is she okay? She's probably at work. She's probably working hard. That poor girl. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and play this. If you guys wouldn't mind just taking a second to hit the like button. I'm not going to pause it too many times, but I will pause it here and there, so that they don't get me. But Nancy's usually pretty cool about it. And she's right here, She's right here.
A beautiful young mom murdered on a local hiking trail. What happened? In the last hours, we learned that law enforcement out on ATVs looking for her killer and also asking for the public's help. Take a listen to our friends, Fox Baltimore.
More than a week has passed since the body of Rachel Morin was found on the Ma and Pa Trail in Harford County. Police have made no arrests in her murder, and they're asking the community for help. Meanwhile, speculation about what happened is running rampant on social media.
Nancy, we got to talk about this shirt for a minute. Is she really wearing, and it's like an American flag on one side and then the Constitution or something on the other side? Nancy, how do I get a hold of her? She needs to go to my boutique. Nancy, I love her. But Nancy, we got to talk about this shirt. When you come on my show, because you will eventually, I will get you eventually. First thing we're going to talk about is this shirt. You guys hold me to it. Hold me to it. I'm just kidding. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. I swear. If she ever was here, I'd be like, I didn't say that. I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know these people. But I'm like, I'm always making fun of her clothes, but it's so funny because the last time we played Nancy, she was wearing a jacket that I have and like half of the chat has. So we have to tease her sometimes. But the shirt, Nancy, I wonder where I get that. I need one of those. Now I need one. Also, I wonder what coffee cup she's using tonight.
Yeah, Rob Weinhold.
My Lord,
Guys,
Nancy.
you are hearing our friends at Fox Baltimore talking about the fact that social media has run rampant, her words, not mine, regarding the murder of Rachel Morin. But what are the facts as we know them at this hour? I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. Thank you for being with us here at Fox Nation and Sirius XM 111. Again, you are hearing our friends at Fox Baltimore talking about what's happening online, but what's happening in reality. Take a listen to Rob Weinhold, crisis leadership expert with Falston Group, Our Cut Eye.
Well, I'm quite certain the Sheriff's Department is working around the clock, doing everything possible to identify the suspect. But the longer this goes on, the more it exacerbates the fear in the community, right? And also speculation and conversation, a lot of which may be inaccurate. And so the Sheriff's Department has its job cut out for it and has to move methodically, move slowly to make sure that when there's arrest, it's also prosecutable. So very important for the Sheriff's Department to take its time and do what's right. But it doesn't do anything to lower the temperature of fear.
Lower the temperature of fear. That's kind of hard to do when the public believes a killer is on the loose. And now take a listen to Our Cut 34, our friend Rebecca Pryor.
Despite law enforcement swarming the area for almost a full day, Gabrzeski's stepdaughter locating the body in about an hour.
Once we got down there and I started seeing them tunnels, I started getting goosebumps.
The deadly discovery made in a tunnel drain not far from the trail's main entrance.
I saw a terrible mess.
Gabrzeski's visions meeting the reality of a gruesome scene.
There's not going to be an open casket, I can guarantee you that.
Images of Rachel Morin, the murdered mother of 5, now mark the Ma and Pa Trail. And the Harford County Sheriff's Office has been inundated with questions surrounding her death. A modern-day whodunit. This case almost immediately attracted the attention of the national media, as well as from outlets from abroad. While the Sheriff's Office has 78,000 followers on Facebook, posts about Rachel's murder have reached 2 million people.
You are also hearing our friends at WMAR with me, an all-star panel to make sense of what we know right now. We also know that the law enforcement there in the area where Rachel was found is asking for assistance from the public. Is that ever a good sign? Again, with me, an all-star panel to make sense of what we know right now, but straight out to Vincent Hill, anchor reporter, Fox 45 in Baltimore, former cop and private investigator, author of Playbook to a Murder. Vincent Hill, is it true that local law enforcement is asking for help from the public?
Yeah, Nancy, the Harford County Sheriff's Office set up an email tip line, and they've received over 300 tips. But right now, they're looking for any witnesses that may have seen Rachel. Here we are over a week later, and you alluded to it, Nancy. It's not a good sign that they're turning to the public, because that tells me they may be limited on the amount of clues they have who killed Rachel.
Right now, we know the timeline is being picked apart with a fine-tooth comb. Take a look at Our Cut 63 from our friends at News Nation.
It appears to me that this is much more personal. I've seen homicide scenes where the face is just destroyed, and that's for a reason, because they are either so angry at this person and how attractive they may be that they're going to destroy that beauty because they've been rejected. Now, the boyfriend and all this stuff, they're going to have to get a timeline on where he was and what he was doing, because you've got what, a 5.5 hour period here between the time she left and the time her boyfriend is calling in a missing person report.
We're learning that some are reporting the boyfriend has an alibi, and that alibi is that he was at an AA meeting. You've either known someone in an AA meeting, you've been in an AA meeting, you've seen it on a TV or in a movie. Vincent Hill joining us, Fox 45. If he was in an AA meeting, there's going to be not only his sponsor, but other people who are also at that meeting. Isn't that true?
Yeah, absolutely, Nancy. I mean, that could be verified very quickly, because those meetings are usually scheduled around the same time. It's usually the same people that attend those meetings. So if he was there, then someone can actually vouch for him very quickly and easily.
You know, I noticed his wording. Joining me right now, Ron Bateman, sheriff, former homicide undercover narcotics agent. You can find him at ronbatemanbooks.com, author of a crime trilogy, Silent Blue Tears. Ron, I noticed right at the beginning, he said, when he was talking about his arrest record, which is, let's just say, pretty extensive, 14 arrests since 2014, he said, I'm 18 months clean. When you hear the words 18 months clean, that does sound like somebody in AA.
Absolutely, it does. And someone that's trying to be sober, they always seem to know exactly how many months, days, they've been clean. So it sounds normal to me.
Dr. Bethany Marshall, they know it down to the day, because a struggle against drugs or alcohol is a daily battle. It's got a hold of you and you have to fight it. With me is Dr. Bethany Marshall, psychoanalyst, joining us out of Beverly Hills at drbethanymarshall.com. Jump in, Dr. Bethany.
Nancy, not only is it a daily battle, but it takes a lot of time for the brain to recover from long-term addiction. It's like an injury to the brain. Long-term addiction changes the neuroreceptor sites. Think of the neuroreceptor sites as the stamen on a flower.
First of all, when you throw around words like that, neuroreceptor sites, that could be anything. You could be talking about a nuclear reactor for all a lot of people know. Look, I'm just a JD. All right. I'm not a shrink like you. Break it down for me, Dr. Bethany.
When you have used alcohol, drugs, methamphetamine, pot, any substance, the brain begins to crave it. The brain becomes dependent upon it. So it takes months or years, depending on the substance, for the brain to stop craving that particular substance. So that's why time is so important. If you have 2 months, 8 months, 12 months, the longer you have, the less you crave that substance, the more you create a different life and different patterns that are no longer around using. So, and yes, in 12-step NA, AA, the timing of how long the person has been sober is important, because that kind of structure is very important for the recovering addict. So the fact that he threw that out there, the boyfriend,
he said specifically 15 months clean. Now, yes. A lot has been made that Rachel Morin was on multiple dating sites before her murder. Seriously? You got a mom of 5 breaking into the dating scene? Of course she's on multiple websites. I don't know why the stigma attached to dating websites. Sydney, did I ever tell you, my nephew, smart, double major, chemistry, IT, awesome job as an IT troubleshooter. He met his now wife on a dating website, and they have 2 children. They just had another baby. I think they've been married, 5-7 years. So they work, not all the time, but they do work, and there's such a stigma.
Nancy. I always get her at her best moments. But no, I wanted to just bring it up because, I'm going to. But the whole thing with her having been on dating websites, as most of you guys know in the chat, I met my significant other on Tinder. We both swiped right, I guess, or wait, that's left, swiped right at the same time. So I mean, it does happen. You do find good, good, decent people online. And I'm telling you what, if she was online and she was on like dating websites, it's probably because she was from such a small town that she was probably trying to look outside of her town for somebody, if that makes sense. Because I'm from a small town, and usually when you live in a small town, and you're at your age, if you're age 37 with 5 kids, it's going to be like there's not going to be a whole lot of people that are good quality to choose from. That's just coming from my own experience in my own small town. I don't know what her small town's like, but I mean, if we're hearing about the baby's daddies, they've had problems, and then the new boyfriend has like 14 arrests on his record. So it's just kind of crazy. But I think that she was just wanting to find herself a good man, I think she probably struck out a couple of times. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, David. Like it's taken very seriously at NAA. That's why I don't know how they would confirm that either. But I would hope they would say like if he was there, just because it's like a murder investigation. But at the same time, I can understand it. Also, I'm trying to find the shirt that Nancy is wearing, but I cannot find it yet. But I'm still looking. If you guys don't mind just taking a second to hit the like button. Thank you guys all for being here. I really, really, really appreciate that. You guys are here tonight. I was trying to read something in the the Kelly vlog. Yeah, she says she's on dating sites because it ain't easy finding a man with 5 kids. It's hard with 4 that I have. Yeah, it is. It's hard to find somebody that's willing, and wants to take on not just you as a mother, but maybe eventually your children. So, because people go into relationships, they don't think of, when you have children. I'm sure I don't have children, but I'm sure you think of your children first before you go into the relationship, and you see how it's going to work beforehand. Hopefully.
Stigma attached. I saw a banner, Jessica Garth joining me. Hey, Dr. Bethany and Ron Bateman, Dr. Jean Gorniak, we haven't gotten to you yet because we're not discussing a dead body yet. Vincent Hill, everybody jump in. Jessica Garth joining me, chief of the Special Victims and Family Violence Unit in Prince George's County. I hate it when a murder victim, a rape victim, any kind of victim is smeared. And when I saw the banner, Rachel Morin on multiple dating sites, like that's a bad thing. That was actually the banner. Rachel Morin on, quote, multiple dating sites. Who gives a flying fig if she was on dating websites? I only care about it to the extent, Jessica, it could lead me to someone that may have been stalking her, that had seen her on one of these websites. But I don't like it a little bit when victims are somehow cast in this bad light. And another thing before you get started, the other day we were talking about other women that are attacked by strangers when hiking, jogging, exercising. And we were talking about Eliza Fletcher, the Memphis mom who went out jogging at 4 a.m. This woman, she might as well have been a saint. People still attacked her because she was out jogging at 4 a.m. It made me so mad I could have chewed a nail in half. And now this woman's getting attacked because she gets spray tans and she's on websites. Who cares?
Yeah, exactly, Nancy. I couldn't agree more. When I saw that headline, I immediately thought, we're already victim blaming. We're already saying, this woman shouldn't have been out running alone. You should always run with a partner. Oh, she was on multiple dating websites. Perhaps she had this come in. Which I think is terrible. But I think you're right. I mean, if we use this information as a tool to either find, other men that she might have been talking to who are suspects, or even if we use it as a motive, if it's something that would have upset her current boyfriend that could have led to this murder, then it is useful information in that way. But the use of it in any other way, I agree, it's pretty disheartening when we're talking about a woman who's been murdered.
We also,
Nancy, I think something
dear.
else in this. Well, maybe she was unhappy in her current relationship. And he talks about he started looking for her with the kids. They've been together. He posted online, and then he took those Facebook posts right back down again, which tells me that maybe this was a conflictual relationship. He's painting it as if it was a happy one, but if she was on dating sites, she wasn't committed to him.
You know what? If you look at any relationship, you're going to find conflict. There's going to be conflict of some nature. I don't know if there was enough conflict for him to take a rock and beat her dead, but that's it. You know what? It's out there. Let's talk about it. The only thing that remotely interests me about her going to the tanning studio is that and it's spray tan, not where you lie in a tanning bed and get skin cancer. Is that it was part of her routine. And we all know that routines are significant when a person has been kidnapped, raped, murdered. Someone may very well know their routine. She had a routine down. And hey, before I go to this, Vincent Hill and Ron Bateman, I want to circle back to something I think Jessica Garth said, or Dr. Bethany, about the boyfriend taking down posts. They may have been taken down at the behest of local law enforcement. But that said, take a listen to our Cut 66, our friends at Crime Online.
In the hours leading up to her walking the Ma and Pa Trail, the New York Post reports that Rachel Morin stopped at Glow, the bronzing studio in Bel Air, for her daily spray tan at 2 p.m. A source close to the salon told the Post that all the employees knew her and that Rachel told them she was on multiple online dating sites. This is just days after going public with her relationship status update on Facebook, where the mother of 5 said she was in a relationship with Richard Tobin. According to a now deleted Facebook post, Tobin met up with Rachel after her spray tan session and they went to the gym together. New York Post also reporting the couple went to Planet Fitness, where Morin is a black card holder who can use any of the company's facilities.
What is significant to me right now, Ron Bateman, and everybody jump in if you have a thought on this. Ron Bateman, you can find him at ronbatemanbooks.com.
So I said this earlier, and this is just what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that she wasn't getting a spray tan that day, or maybe she was getting a spray tan, but I'm thinking what she was doing was going to the tanning bed. Like, when you actually like lay down in the bed and you cook yourself. I used to do it every single day. Every single day. I tanned from when I was like, don't come for my mother, she's not here to defend herself. But I wasn't, because, I was not of age. I was like 14 when I started tanning, maybe 15. And I tanned until like 5 years ago. And I think I'm going to go back this year, just like twice a week, just because I need the raise. But I'm thinking that she was just going to get going to the tanning bed. And that's what that is. Maybe she was going to get a spray tan though that day too. But I used to get spray tans. And like I was telling you guys in the chat earlier, I only would get them like once a week. That would be so expensive. And I just don't see spending like all that kind of money when you have 5 kids. Do you know what I mean? I don't think she would have been like that. I don't think she would have been like, oh, I need my spray tan. I think she would have just went to the tanning bed and got like the, unlimited package and then got her spray tan every here and there, Oh, thanks, Joanne. She said, Tanya, you look so brown. I haven't laid out in forever either. There's been no sun here. You guys have gotten all the heat wherever you all live. It's because it's not in Ohio. It's only 72 degrees here. It's making me really sad. Paul's coming. I'd rather that than be, I'd rather him be that than murder suspect too. Oh, tanning mousse. Yeah, I do that. Well, I used to do that. Vincent used to put tanning lotion on me. Why does he stop doing that? Wait a minute. I'm going to get him to do that again. I'm going to go ahead and unpause it. Don't forget to hit the like button if you guys are just now joining us. Appreciate you guys being here.
Former homicide detective, Ron, is that I'm getting a timeline. That's what I'm interested in when it comes to her spray tan or her gym session. She's with the boyfriend just before she goes missing. She goes to the tan salon. She goes to the gym, and that can be verified. Those gyms are covered in surveillance videos. So we can establish that. What do you make of it, Ron Bateman?
I would be all over that gym footage, interviewing people that they worked nearby them, working out with weights. I would interview them, people that they talk to, get the footage, and really do a deep dive into that, as well as at the salon. What kind of things did they say at the tanning salon, the spray tan salon? Was she talking about having problems? Things of that nature.
Sydney's waving a note at me. Gym after tan salon makes no sense.
She'd get streaky. It makes no sense.
So she would get streaky. I don't know about that, but that's certainly something to take into account. Thank you for the investigative tidbit that she would get, quote, streaky. You know what, though?
She got the spray tan because she wanted to look good at the gym. Because the fact that she was on all those dating sites, she was unhappy in her relationship. She wanted a new relationship, and the gym was maybe where she was meeting people. And Nancy, this reminds me of Anna Nicole Simpson, O.J. Simpson's wife. She had the same narrow routine. Remember, there in Brentwood, she went to the same tanning salon. She got her nails done at the same place. She got her facials done at this one spa. It was all along San Vicente Boulevard, and that really told a story because women who go to the same establishments again and again, especially beauty establishments, they talk. They talk about who they're dating. They talk about whether or not they're happy in their relationships. And there's going to be a treasure trove of information there, especially if somebody on one of those dating apps was stalking her. You know what? She would have talked to the person who was giving her her spray tan or giving her her facial or doing her nails. They're going to know all about this.
Guys, you're hearing the voice of Dr. Bethany Marshall. Another issue in addition to the whole, and I wanted to back Sydney up on something, although I was giving you a hard time about the streaky defense. Do you guys remember Robin Gardner? Just stunning. As a matter of fact, a couple of times I've thought of Robin Gardner when I look at Rachel Morin because they look very similar. Beautiful, blonde, goes to Aruba with the kind of a boyfriend, more like a friend boy, and never seen again. Became a big bone of contention. She had just had her hair done. I don't know if it was a permanent something to her hair, and no way would she have gotten that hair wet right after this treatment. And the story was that she had gone in the water, and all of her friends said, no way did that happen. So I know it may seem, let's just say, tangential to many sleuthers, but actually it goes to what Dr. Bethany Marshall is saying. It's routine evidence of someone's routine. If you had just had your hair done, would you go jump in a swimming pool? Probably not. Same thing may apply here. That said, there will be surveillance video at the gym to determine what time she came and left. But I want to focus on one more thing, the issue of deleted posts. Take a listen to our cut. 67, our friend Dave Mack.
Richard Tobin has since deleted posts and set his social media pages to private, but the New York Post reported that in a since deleted comment, Richard Tobin dropped off Rachel at her home shortly before 5 p.m. The next thing we know about the timeline is that Morin went to the hiking trail and was last spotted sometime between the hours of 6 and 7:30 p.m. According to the New York Post, Richard Tobin wrote in a now deleted Facebook comment, quote, "She's been missing since 7 p.m. She went on a hike, and me and the kids have been trying to find her since 9, unquote. Tobin reported her missing to authorities around 11:30 p.m.
Joining us right now, Vincent Hill, anchor reporter, Fox 45 Baltimore. Vincent, what do you know about deleted posts? Are there more?
Yeah, there may be more, Nancy, but I think it's important to realize, like, he could be deleting those for a few reasons, because he's already said something that may be contradicted later, or he's just tired of being blasted on social media, which would be quite understandable because since day one, everyone's looked towards him as being suspect. So he may have deleted those just to kind of go incognito, or, I better delete these before police see them and realize I was telling a story.
Interesting. He's placing himself with her just before she goes missing. Now, there's two ways to look at that. Everybody jump in. Remember, Alex Murdaugh was with his wife and son just before they were murdered, and his defense was an unknown assassin came in that sliver of time and murdered them before he comes back to the scene, his hunting lodge there in South Carolina, to find his wife and son dead. So somehow, amazingly, the killer with split-second timing swooped in and that hour plus murdered them and got away. Now, this is different. Yes, the boyfriend, is placing himself with the victim just before she's killed. But he doesn't swoop back in and find the body. He is away from her for many hours before the body is found. That makes it somewhat difficult, but we are learning that somehow, incredibly, the sheriffs have tracked down certain people that were on that trail, potential witnesses. Everybody, the questions I would love to ask these people: was she alone? What was she doing? Was she on her cell phone? Was she in distress? Take a listen to our cut 53, our friends at WJZ.
The Harford County Sheriff's Office has a new way to send in tips, and they say they've located people who may have seen Rachel Morin just before her death. Almost a week since Rachel Morin was killed on the Ma and Pa Trail in Bel Air, police are still trying to piece together her final moments. The Sheriff's Office says they've identified and contacted 5 people who were walking with their dogs between 6 and 7:30 last Saturday evening, who may be among the last to have seen Morin alive.
Did they see her alive? We don't know. Straight back to you, Vincent Hill, Fox 45. What do we know about these women, these people? 5 people. We've been told 3 women, 2 men, and vice versa. Long story short, 5 people.
Photos. She's gorgeous. She has long platinum hair. She worked out, according to one report, 3 times a day. She was on that trail. She was a regular.
Okay,
People knew her routine.
wait. She was on the trail 3 times a day?
Of a woman who walked her dogs with her husband on a daily basis, and she said that they would see her out there 3 times a day.
3 times a day? Oh, I don't know that the witness has that correct, but that said, it does enforce that witnesses have seen her there and would recognize her. And you know what's interesting? Jessica Garth joining me, chief of the Special Victims Family Violence Unit in.
Okay. So I just wanted to ask you guys, do you think that she was really out on those trails 3 times a day? Like that's Isabel said 5 kids 3 times a day. I don't buy it. Okay, I'm not the only one. Summer said 3 times a day. She would have time, right, Joanne? Like who has time? I don't have children, right? Not one. I don't have any kids. I've got 2 dogs and a cat. And I don't have time to go on a walking trail without taking my dogs with me 3 times a day. I mean, now if I'm taking my dogs, then yeah, I could see me out there walking 3 times a day, but I don't think she was just out there dilly-dallying around unless she was meeting somebody on the regular there at those trails and they were hanging out on those trails or something, because that's crazy. You wouldn't have time to do all that. And then go tanning. And then, you know what I mean? Like because tanning's like an hour. That takes like an hour. If you're going to walk on the trail, that's like an hour, 2 hours. You know, I don't know. That's just very strange. And then also, if you think about it, she went on the trail at 6 o'clock at night on a Saturday. She has 5 kids, and I'm not saying anything bad about her. I'm not saying anything bad about her at all. But I'm wondering, like, did they have dinner like before she went on the trail, or was she expecting to come back at like 7 o'clock and start preparing dinner for the kids? You know, I just don't know. I'm just wondering what she was doing that whole day now. And then she left her 5 kids. Well, I don't know how many she left with the new boyfriend. And I'm thinking that maybe they were together for longer than the Facebook said. Maybe that's just when they decided to put it out there on Facebook. Oh, I meant to play that.
Prince George's County. Very often, eyewitness testimony is attacked. I've done it myself on cross-examination. In fact, it's laid out in the official criminal code. You can attack an eyewitness on the distance from which they were spotting the incident or the person, the lighting conditions. Were they being distracted by some other event? Do they wear glasses? Just was their view impeded? There's a million ways to attack an eyewitness. But that said, do you know that if I jog, run, walk during a certain time of the day, almost every time I see this little old lady, I swear the woman is in her 90s. She can't weigh over 90 pounds. And she's always got a big smile and speaks to me. I would know that lady anywhere. I don't know her name, but I see her all the time. There's a particular dog I see all the time. Her name is Adele. You know why I remember her? She's got one blue eye and one brown eye. This dog, right? So Very often an eyewitness can be confused, but when you see something over and over and over again, it gets branded in your memory and it makes that ID that much more valuable.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the more often you see something, the longer that you see something, and of course, the closer that you see something, the more reliable your testimony is going to be as an eyewitness. But I think when we're interviewing these witnesses who may or may not have seen her on the trail, it's really important, not just whether or not she was alone, whether or not they saw somebody else on the trail, but we've been talking about establishing this timeline and how important that is. And, these witnesses can be really crucial in that regard. They can say, what time they saw her, or if they were there, if she allegedly went running at 7 p.m. and they didn't see her at 7:30, we can narrow down the time in which she might have been murdered. And that's going to be really, really important as investigators develop a suspect in this case. When they get a statement from him or her, they're probably going to have a timeline. And if they can, sort of rebut that timeline with the time that they know that she was actually murdered, it'll get us that much closer to a conviction.
Dr. Bethany Marshall, we've gotten to the bottom of the mystery. You were right. It's not her, but this couple walked their dog 3 times a day, and they very often saw her while they're walking the dog. Guys, does this become significant? Yes, it does. These witnesses, potential witnesses, may be able to place Rachel Morin at a location at a certain time. That certain time may give the boyfriend an alibi. What if he's at home cooking dinner? What if he's taking the children through Chick-fil-A or McDonald's at that time and there's a receipt showing it? Speaking of drive-thrus, here's a great example. Does everybody remember Drew Peterson, the devil from hell? He's convicted on killing, I think that would have been third wife, Kathleen Savio. And then his next wife, Stacy Peterson's body has never been found. The night she goes missing, he and another male are seen going through a drive-thru. And many people believe that is the night he disposed of Stacy's body. So what if at the time these witnesses see Rachel Morin on the trail, the boyfriend's at a drive-thru or wherever he is, an AA meeting? So these witnesses can turn out to be very, very significant. Another issue, and I want to take this to Dr. Jan Gorniak, renowned medical examiner joining us out of Clark County. That's Vegas, board-certified forensic pathologist. Dr. Gorniak, I find it really hard to believe that there wasn't a scream, there was no sound of an argument or a scuffle or anything when this lady was attacked. We've been told by a rock, which says to me crime of opportunity, not planned in advance. My question to you is, if we never find the rock, the blunt instrument, wouldn't there be particles not seen by the naked eye in her head and face wounds that would indicate a rock was the murder weapon?
It's possible that you could see some transfer from the rock. My thing is with this case is nobody's confirming what her injuries are, except for the man who found her but didn't see her, but can say that she's not going to have an open casket. It's just so confusing. So yes, to answer your question, you would think if someone's being attacked like that, there might be a scream, but it might have happened so fast. But how big is this rock? It's just, there's just so many unanswered questions. She's naked. Have they found her clothes? Was a sexual assault kit performed? Are those injuries that are being reported really true? Does she have any defensive injuries? She sounds like someone who's real taken care of. Are her nails done? Are her nails cracked? Was there any, what other information do we have about what her cause of death is? And right now, all we have is possibly blunt force injury of the head.
Now, it's very interesting, Vincent Hill, that while Michael G., who originally said he saw her body, found her body, has been somewhat discredited. It may have been the case that his stepdaughter found it and he came upon it, or she told him what she found. What I find to be the most important part of what Michael G. had to say is that his words themselves have not been discredited. He may be repeating what a stepdaughter told him. He may be recounting what he learned, but his actual words that she was found naked, face up on a trail, and the right side of her face bashed in, which tells me, gosh, if she were bashed in on the right side of her face.
Wouldn't that make the person left-handed? I think that's what she's probably going to say, and I watched this earlier, but I was just thinking that when he said that.
Face. Would that mean that the perp would have been using a left hand? Anyway, that's a whole nother can of worms. But what we're learning
Nancy,
is...
this is Dr. Gorniak again, real quick. So blunt force trauma, it doesn't mean it's like something hit her or her head hit something. So she could have been pushed down onto the rock because the rock was bloody, and I don't know how big the rock is. So not necessarily hit with the rock. Her head could have been pushed into the rock. That makes sense?
Then she was on her back. She was on her back. How would that have happened?
Well, the person could have hit her, right, and then moved her.
Do you believe
They didn't leave
falling
her
on
in
a rock would have bashed the whole side of her face in?
Not falling. Someone forcibly pushing her into a rock.
Interesting. Vincent Hill, what about it?
Yeah, Nancy, that Michael person, I was told by the sheriff he had no firsthand knowledge of the crime scene. So he may have been going off what he says is his stepdaughter's words. And she was the one that called 911 saying she found Rachel's body. But we don't know exactly because the sheriff's office has not released, or the medical examiner has not released her cause of death. We're just speculating on what he says that his stepdaughter told him.
Did the sheriffs ever say his words were not true, Vincent?
What the sheriff's office told me, Nancy, was he has no firsthand knowledge of the crime scene. He did not find Rachel or witness her body.
Okay, so then, no, they're not claiming that that information is false. It's just that he's not the one that found her first. Guys, I want you to take a listen to our Cut 60, our friends at WMAR.
The public, hungry for answers, is gobbling up coverage of virtually anyone claiming to have information about the case.
Basically, when we walked up, we saw fresh blood, and my daughter's boyfriend thought it was deer blood at first.
Police say they're frustrated by such people seeking the spotlight.
Obviously, there are people out there who are coming up with putting out information in the public that they have no firsthand knowledge of, talking about the crime scene that they have no firsthand knowledge of.
I'm also curious to you, Ron Bateman, Jessica Garth, Dr. Bethany, Vincent Hill, if she had been on these dating sites, is there an ex out there, an ex or someone on these dating sites that she had rebuffed? Also, what do we know about her cell phone? Take a listen to our Cut 58. This is Gigi McKelvey from the Pretty Lies and Alibis podcast at News Nation.
I believe there are a few exes from the past that I'm sure they're looking into at this point. Anybody, I'm sure her phone is going to be a big source of information. Who did she last contact before she went to the trail? The location pings. Did she go somewhere before? And also what's interesting is this trailhead backs up right to an apartment complex. It's literally in the parking lot of an apartment complex. I'm interested to see what kind of surveillance they have. Did they see her get out of her car and start down on the trail?
You know, that leads me to an entire other line of reasoning, Ron Bateman. If this trail backs right up to an apartment complex, who in that apartment complex could have been watching her every single time she went on a hike?
Yeah, very true. There's only two places to park. I was there yesterday for 2 hours. And there's one end, it's only 6.25 miles long, and then there's the end I believe her car was found. And yeah, that would be something that I would definitely be looking at. Again, more cameras at people's front doors. You know, are they seeing her? Do we catch it on camera, you know, with her getting out with someone else or someone following her, someone acting strange? That would be definitely a great investigative tool to search out. When you're ready, I'll tell you about my observations.
I'm ready. Tell me everything you observed.
Well, I'll start from the beginning. There were several women walking alone. And women together, and men and women together, people riding bikes and walking. I was surprised to see the women walking alone. That just surprised me given the nature of this thing. There were numerous 8x10 color photos of Rachel stapled to the tree in sheet protectors with flowers underneath various trees. And it is such a vast amount of woods. It's unbelievable. I have a hard time believing that every square inch of that woods has been searched. Now, the sheriff has a great team. I hope they did. I would literally, if it was me as the sheriff, I would solicit the Maryland Sheriff's Maryland Chiefs Association and get every single recruit from a police academy nearby and cadet and do a very, very systematic search of this woods. Nancy, there's hundreds of acres of woods where this person could be lying in wait. Or most importantly, if we were to believe the stepdaughter, the violence of the crime, then there is definitely going to be blood on someone's shirt and pants. Now, this time of year, you can leave the woods without a shirt, but you can't leave without your pants. So that shirt, to me, is going to be somewhere, I would believe, in that woods or across Route 24, which the tunnel goes underneath of. I was there for hours yesterday.
Dr. Bethany Marshall, we're learning a lot about her life. What's your observation?
Well, Nancy, there was an older couple who was interviewed who said that she was a cleaning person in their home. Apparently, she owned her own cleaning service. And so that told me not only was she beloved, because they said they really liked her, but she was a hard worker, taking care of those 5 kids all on her own, scrubbing other people's toilets, cleaning their windows, sweeping their floors. This was a person who was not afraid to do whatever she had to do to take care of her family. And so when all that information comes out about the dating apps and, attempts to smear her character, we have to remember the true core of who she was, which was somebody who would do anything to take care of the people around her.
I think I've got Ron Bateman back. Ron, are you there? Can you continue?
There were 3 deputies on 3 separate 4-wheelers that were riding up and down the trail. And I'm not trying to bash the sheriff's office. I'm sure they're doing a great job, but no one ever bothered to talk to me or my associate that was with me. And if I was the sheriff, I would make sure I would have all 10 deputies that are assigned to this, their business cards, with those deputies riding the 4-wheelers and handing them out. You need to talk to people. You need to find out, did you see anything? Do you know anything? Sometimes you got to pull it out of people. And if you give them a card, at least they leave with it. They'll be at home and they'll have something to refer to. If they say, oh, you know what, I did see something kind of weird, I'm going to call them anyway.
Ron, did you see the spot where Rachel was killed?
I believe so. Here's what's important, what I saw. And maybe these came from the dog witnesses, the dog walking witnesses. There were 3 detectives about 300 yards away from what I believe was the scene. They were in the woods. They were at least 30 yards off the trail in the woods at a unique location. And they were walking around, appeared to be looking for something. They weren't doing a systematic grid search or anything like that, but they were walking around, and that was definitely key to me because it was so far from the scene.
Curious about the location where you believe that Rachel was murdered. Was it on a curve? Was there anything around that spot where someone could have lain in wait?
Yes. There are smaller tunnels. I was looking at those. I was looking because I believe also a crime of opportunity. I was looking for where this impression of possibly a rock could have been. And that also can lead you to believe or lead you down the path of, were they lying?
So if this is the tunnel, I thought that is this the tunnel that they're saying that they found her in? Because now I'm getting confused because when they were first found her, they were showing a small tunnel, like a drainage tunnel of sorts. So, does anyone know exactly, like, where she exactly was found? Because, I thought that I knew, but I guess not. I don't know if because when we first looked up the first video, it was showing I don't know. I'll play Nancy Grace, and I'm gonna keep my eye out and I'll look around a little bit, because I believe it was a small tunnel, like a drainage tunnel that you would have. Like if you have a driveway, you usually have like a drainage tunnel for the water to kind of go through. I think it was like that, but a little bit bigger. Like I think that I could have probably fit in the tunnel, but not very good. You know what I mean? I don't think it was like where you could move around a lot. So that's another thing. How would you get someone in there? Like, think about that. Just like as you're watching Nancy Grace, just think about how would you insert somebody if they're deceased into a tunnel like that? I guess, I mean, I don't want to speculate, but that's just something I'm wondering. I'm like, how would you even do that? You can stand in the tunnel? Oh, wow. Brutally honest said JRR did a walkthrough. So you can stand up in. Oh, so you can walk through it just like he's walking through it. So then that gets me thinking, then why the heck, if she did scream out, this is all metal. You would think it would echo, right? It would be loud. Any kind of noise you would make. You would think it would be like kind of echoey, like an echo chamber in there. But wow. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and play Nancy Grace again. If you guys wouldn't mind, we have 475 people in here tonight. That's wonderful. Wonderful. If you guys wouldn't mind just taking a second to like the video, if you do appreciate the coverage that we're doing tonight. Also, if you wouldn't mind taking a second to subscribe to the channel, we'd love to have you. We do talk true crime every evening here. Tomorrow, we'll probably be back on the Idaho wagon. And then Friday, he'll be in court. So we'll see how that goes on Friday.
And wait, where there's cigarette butts, near where this impression where the rock used to be. But yes, there is, to answer your question, smaller tunnels that were right next to the big tunnel. There's at least 2 that I saw.
Guys, again, the focus is not only on the boyfriend, which is to be expected, but beyond, with law enforcement asking for tips from the public. Does that mean they don't have a clue? Are they misleading the real target? Take a listen to our cut L, our friends at Crime Online.
Many are questioning why it took Rachel Morin's boyfriend, Richard Tobin, nearly 5.5 hours to report the mom missing. Several Facebook users pointed to Tobin's statement that he's, quote, 15 months clean, and thought that the 27-year-old may have been attending an AA meeting at the Mann House. The home houses recovering male addicts that have been formally diagnosed with alcoholism or chemical dependency, also hosting meetings open to the public daily, with 3 options on Saturday, the latest scheduled for 7 p.m.
The significance I find in that, Vincent Hill, is that if he was at one of those meetings, that would explain the delay in reporting. And often just human nature, when somebody's late coming home to supper or late for whatever event, you don't immediately think, oh, they've been murdered. You wait.
Yeah.
You wait a couple of hours and try to figure out what's happening, try to call them, try to contact them. And I believe that his cell phone should indicate that's what he was doing, trying to reach her. What do you make of that, Vincent?
Yeah, absolutely, Nancy. I mean, if he was at this meeting, that can be verified. And also, we don't know what conversation the two may have had before she went to the trail. She may have said, hey, I'm going to go to the trail and then stop by my friend's house, grab some dinner, and come home. So you're right. You don't immediately think, oh, it's been 3 hours. Something has to be wrong, because at the end of the day,
I'm pretty sure that, and I read this earlier to you guys, he said that he started looking for Rachel after, like, with the children around 9 o'clock. So if she leaves the house to go to the trail at 6 o'clock, and so less than 3 hours or 3 hours, you're already out looking for her. Like, her kid's that bad? You know what I mean? Where you're like, well, where's your mama? Because that's like very short amount of time. And I've said that before. That's just such a short amount of time to consider someone missing. But I mean, I guess they always say, like, don't wait the full 24 hours. You always have to, call it in as soon as you feel like you have an inkling that something is wrong. But that's just really strange to me. The meetings, I would say that an AA meeting is about an hour long. I would say about an hour. I'm not sure. I've never been to one. But I would say they're about an hour. I don't think they'd want to like have anybody there too long. So, you know. Oh, thank you, Jan, for gifting a membership. And look at that, Terry Dean got it. Thank you so much for gifting a membership. That's so nice. And thank you guys all for being here tonight. I really appreciate it. So don't forget to hit that like button, and I'm going to go ahead and play this the rest of the way through. And also, she's vaping, and I think they're on a trail, which sounds like something I would do. I ain't going to lie about that.
Adults, we go out, we go and live our lives. So there was nothing afloat to say, oh, something's wrong immediately.
Exactly. Guys, if
Let me add to that.
jump in.
Let me add to that. It's definitely really important to get a hold of her cell phone and do a search warrant on it and get the voicemail. Let's face it, they were in an argument. There might be a nasty voicemail that he left to her or an apology. I'm sorry I did that.
Mhm.
You know?
We're also learning from the people that saw her routinely that she would usually have earbuds in or listening to music. Did that make it easier for someone to attack her? Dr. Bethany, jump in.
Well, I think there's a huge story hole in all of this to me, and that is that not one friend has come forward. We know the people who saw her on the trail. She was only with this new boyfriend for a number of months, and he says he went looking with the children. I mean, that's a very close bonded relationship.
Sorry, I said I wasn't going to pause it, but I am because I will forget this. She probably didn't have any friends. Not to be mean. I'm not to be mean, but like it's hard. You know, when you're a girl to, you know, find friends, and especially maybe later in life. If she didn't have friends, like if she didn't grow up in this town or like didn't have people that she went to high school with, she might not have had a lot of friends, you know, that were girls. It might have just been her and her boo or whatever. I don't know. I'm just going to just put that out there because other than you all see me more than anybody else sees me other than Vincent. You guys are all my friends.
For a family that you've only been with for a few short months. So what about her friends? Where were they? What about the people at the salon? Why there are no stories that I'm hearing from people who knew her well and knew her routine, who could even talk a little bit about her relationship with her boyfriend.
If you know or think you know anything about the disappearance and death of Rachel Morin, please dial 888-540-8477. Repeat, 888-540-8477. Goodbye, friend.
Okay. Actually, I wanted to share something else with you guys too. So I don't know why some police departments are very forthcoming with information and like Moscow Police Department. Like I know that was a huge case and it's still a huge case, but they had a website, you know, by the third day in, they had a full press conference. They were answering questions. They were allowing people to ask a lot of questions. And you know, with Moscow, like they had like the whole website. You just go right to the website and everything you need is right there. But like in this case, let's say, you know, very high profile case, beautiful girl goes missing and then is found dead on a popular hiking trail in a small community. You better get your crap together, guys, over there in Hartford County, because you're slacking. You're slacking, to say the least. So 5 days ago was the last time that they have posted anything about Rachel. And they just posted about the tip email that they established for her. So they didn't have a tip line for, so let's see, like 5, 6, 7 days. And then they get one. And then they drop that, and then that's it. That's the last we've heard from the Hartford police. It's just, this is like, where's the information, you know? That's when people's heads start to run wild. And speculation goes rampant, and because we don't know what to believe. We don't know if we want to believe Richard, if we believe, one of the exes didn't do it, or if it was just a stranger danger. But I'm telling you, if I was the people that lived in the house by the trail that said they never felt scared before, I most certainly would be feeling scared now. I would most certainly be feeling terrified. I would be wanting, people to be doing something in my town about that. Now, I will say, this kind of reminds me of my old town. Something in my old town, 8 women came up missing and were dead. And they still haven't caught the person that done that. Oh, thank you, Jan, for gifting out a membership. Look at that. Mike's got the membership. He said, got it. But I don't know. This one is just, You think they might know who it is? Tandy, maybe. I hope they know who it is. Pretty young mom, yes. Yeah, she was my age. And school starting, yes. Oh, Trisha set you free. I forgot about school starting. That's so heartbreaking. Oh my God, her children. Oh my gosh. That even breaks my heart even more for them. You know what I mean? And don't matter how old you are either. So you always be needing your mama. Oh, that's so sad. But I haven't heard about the custody of her kids. I know that there was stuff on, let me see if I can find it real quick. On Twitter. There was something with her. And, because, people are always getting stuff. And putting it on Twitter. It's like sad but true. So I saw this earlier, and I guess this is the scanner when Cecilia located, it says the victim inside the tunnel. And I'm going to play this for you guys, and you guys can let me know.
That's right. We just received a call from a Cecilia who's advising that she has located the missing Rachel Morin subject on the Montauk in a tunnel that runs under 23 Priority 4 near mile marker 2.75 on the Montauk.
I was trying to look that up too, and I couldn't find an exact location. I think that's all of it. Yeah.
That's right. We just received a...
Okay, yeah, that was the end of it. We'll just go down a little bit. Oh yeah, and then I saw this, but I don't know. It says, according to the father of one of Rachel Morin's children, she had posted a chilling message on Facebook just hours before she went missing. The post read, I'm sorry for what I'm about to do. I love my kids, but I can't keep living like this. I don't know if you guys had heard that. I didn't look on her Facebook as soon as this happened. I don't know why I didn't look on hers, but I looked on Richard's. So I don't know if it was there and then somebody maybe deleted it. And there's JLR. And there's that interview. Yeah, I watched a little bit of that earlier. Let's see what the latest is. I thought there was something else about let me see. I thought there was. Oh yeah, they're gonna get cameras for the area. That's good, but it's like a little too late. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's a little too late to put the cameras up. Maybe you should have put that in the budget and had some cameras up there. I'm really upset about that, actually. There should have been. So yeah, I don't see anything new. That makes me really sad. Like, I wish there was a press conference or something that I could be like, yeah, tomorrow they're going to hold a press conference and let us know. But they're not. But they did buy a $20,000 ATV to help, search for stuff on the trail. Oh, and thank you, Summer. I saw that Summer gifted and Jan just gifted memberships. Summer gifted 5 memberships. Let me go back up and see who got them. Kristen, searched for you, Dorothy, free flight. And am I missing one? If I missed you, I'm sorry. And I saw Jan just gifted a membership. That's you guys, man, you guys are gifting the memberships today. We're have to do another members only, which we just did one on Sunday, but we'll probably do one again this Sunday, or maybe we'll do one before then, because like y'all, today I was so bored. I don't know what was going on with me today. I was in a funk, and I couldn't work it out. And I was like, maybe I should just do a live or something, like just go on and just talk to you guys for a little bit. But I should have, because I was just saying that I didn't, and I was just bored. But I think that's all I have for you guys today. Don't forget to like the video on your way out. It really does help the channel, and it helps me as a creator, and it's free to do. It really is free. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We'd love to have you. We're going to talk Idaho probably tomorrow. Friday, of course, we're going to do Idaho because Brian Kohlberger is going to be in court. When I got off the live last night, here, let me take this part off. So last night on the live, I showed you guys the latest court document. We've read over that same court document, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 times on this channel. However many times Kohlberger's been in trial, or not a trial, but been in for like a motions hearing. We've read over this document, and in the chat, I was like, why is everyone saying that it's not televised tomorrow? Well, when I got off my live last night, I saw where you saw it. And yeah, just next time, ask me. Because I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer by any means, but that's the one legal document your girl, I know about. I know about that one. So exactly, Steve. Her lifestyle and social situation does not give anyone on earth the right to do this to her. Exactly. Those kids are going to be going to school this week. That's so sad. Like, I don't know how old our kids are. You guys said one of them was 18. Doesn't matter how old. But just imagine, like being that age, and you have your mom there when you go to school. My mama used to do my hair every day. I was in high school. That woman was still doing my hair. But when hopefully Nancy will be sticking on it, but I think she's going to stay on this case because she's had a few videos with her. So I'm going to stay on it. I'm going to put her GoFundMe in the chat again. They are using this money to fund the funeral for her. Let me just pull it up really quick for you guys so you can see it. And then the rest of the funds after, because she didn't have a life insurance or anything, after the funds are used for her funeral and stuff like that, they're going to use the rest of the funds for children's expenses, probably therapy, counseling, things of that nature. It's extremely heartbreaking. And Steve, you reminded me, I meant to text Vincent today. I asked him about that video file. I'm writing it down right now. I think I want to say MP3, but then that makes me sound really old because I feel like that's not even a thing anymore. The Kelly vlog, right? The girl is fit. The girl was fit. She looked like she probably did go to the gym 3 times a day. And I hope that and this is another thing that's really sad about this case. Her brother just lost his child to SIDS. So she just lost her, I think it was her niece to SIDS. And that's like, I couldn't imagine being those parents and the grandparents. It's so sad. Yeah, you really need to have a life insurance in place. Like, really. I need to look into it. Shoot. You can do MP3? Okay, I think that's a thing. That's probably what it is. But I'll double check with them. Because, he knows it better than me probably. I don't know. Maybe I know better than him now. But I'm going to jump off of here. I will see you guys all tomorrow at 8:15 Eastern Standard Time for our next live. Like I said, thanks for being here. I really do appreciate each and every one of you so much. And I will see you guys all tomorrow. Have a great night, guys. Bye.